Hello and welcome to another Hearts of Iron 4 video. Today we will be looking at a guide for this achievement, the True Blitzkrieg achievement. So for the achievement we're going to do single player, new game, 1936, and we have to go Germany. I will be playing with historical focuses on because this achievement is somewhat historical, half of it, I think. So, without further ado, remember to play on Ironman mode when you're playing. I won't be playing on Ironman mode for simplicity reasons, but here we go. Okay, so here's our initial setup. Our research is going to be electronic mechanical engineering, basic machine tools, construction 1, and we can either go for interwar artillery, for infantry equipment, or for any support company. Another option we have is to start our doctrines, either air, land. I don't really pay much attention to the navy stuff, but for now I'm gonna start with interwar artillery. Our army setup is going to be our 24 divisions of pure infantry. I'm just gonna park there at this border, and then the rest I will just put here near this port because we'll be sending some volunteers later. For construction, just civilian factories in the areas with the highest infrastructure, something like that. If you want to min-max, you can juggle this factory, so when one's completed, the one at the top goes to the bottom. I can show that later. Since it's a single player game, I don't think it really matters. For our initial production, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the infantry equipment down. We will take away the tactical bombers. Also put motorized at the bottom. I will be putting 7 on infantry, 5 on light tanks, 5 on artillery, 2 on support equipment, 5 on fighters, and 2 on close air support. Our ships, I'll just let some of this finish. And this is going to be our starting setup up until 1937, I think, or we're going to change around this. For our first national focus, we'll just go Rhineland. Our Air Force will just park everything here. Our Navy, what I like to do is just group the convoy raiding fleet here and then the surface fleet there. Right now, the only thing I wanted to say is that for now we'll continue doing the MIFO bills because this is a really good buff. And do not take this decision. This decision is a waste of political power. So now I'm going to unpause the game and I'll see you when the first focus tree finishes or research finishes. Another thing I like to do is to merge all of the planes and make sure that they're stacked properly. So I get rid of this stuff. I'll set the close air supports to 100. That's better. And for these units, I will convert this cavalry into a panzer division. It's important. And if you wanted to, you can start training a few units. We don't really have the equipment right now, but we might as well. So we just finished our first focus. Since it's historical, you shouldn't have an issue. The next option that we need to follow is army innovations. This is going to be really helpful. And we have enough political power for an advisor. I suggest that right now you get the silent workforce, but remember to pick the second one because this person, you'll lose them as an advisor later in the game. So we just finished electronic mechanical engineering. That's gonna go straight into mechanical computing. And we have a few days on basic machine tools. It's very important that you keep an eye on this. I'll show you a strategy to maximize your research on these two things. We just have enough political power to hire another advisor. I think that at this point we have two options. We can either hire the Blitzkrieg theorist, or we can get a tank designer because of the focus that will follow right after this one. So I think that for now, I'm going to get the Blitzkrieg theories because I really want to get some army experience. Also, the Spanish Civil War might kick off in the meantime, so make sure to have divisions ready, equipment ready, like I have. Well, I have a little bit of a stockpile, but that way you will be able to support them and send an attaché their way. Alright, so we just got 2 free research slots. The artillery one completed, so that will go straight into dispersed industry. And this one will go straight into improved machine tools. Right now our focus is on this. Then one of those research slots is going to go into our doctrines. Okay, so army innovations completed, and we will just go ahead and do the treaty with the USSR because we want to get the medium tank as soon as possible. Okay, so construction 1 goes straight into construction 2, and the only other thing we want to rush is dispersed industry 2. After that we can focus on doctrines and the medium tanks. But it's important that before you start researching medium tanks, or at least while you are researching, to hire a tank designer. Okay, so we just got some conflict in Spain. I am going to get 2 divisions ready. I will send them, I think, with either Rommel or Guderian. I'll send volunteers. Make sure to send air volunteers as well. Also start listing them something like maybe 150 guns and 50 artillery pieces. And when you have the political power ready, make sure to improve relations and send them an attaché. That's going to be really helpful. So they accepted. I have 100 fighters and 100 close air support. I'm going to send them to Spain. And now I will show you one more thing. Set the close air support here and do close air support, but the fighters, make sure they're in air superiority and to split them until the smallest air wing possible. This is going to make it so that your aces appear faster. This is really helpful. We might be able to we can't send an attaché yet, so let's wait a little bit more. We also have some free dockyards. As I said, I like to complete some of these ships. And here's my production. Nothing different. I'm still making the same things. Okay, so treaty with the USSR just completed. Normally I'd go for 4-year plan right now. Let's see how much we have. We still have 79 days left on dispersed industry, so I'm not going to take a focus. Let's see what the Soviets say. Okay, the Soviets accepted. And with the political power, I am going to get a medium tank designer. This is going to be really helpful. And since we're not taking any focus, we will be able to send an attaché to Spain, the Spanish. Here's our volunteers. I just like to put them here and try to cut off this port. See, they also left that tile. So since our tanks are really fast, we're not really going to be fighting them as much. We'll just be encircling them and trying to farm some army XP. As I said, we'll wait for the focus for at least. What we want to do is this to be at 69 days, so it completes. Then I pick up dispersed. Sorry, this will be at 69. I will start a focus. I will get dispersed industry 2 before the focus start, and then I'll be able to rush dispersed industry 3. That's what I meant to say, I'm sorry. Here we're in Spain. We just finished this northern encirclement, which is pretty good. And right now I'm gonna clean up that pocket and then maybe move south. A quick tip about volunteers here is that, see this modifier? It's basically not worth it to put any divisions in those states, as you get negative 90% attack. So it's not worth to try to push until that gets removed. And that's something only the Spanish AI is doing. And as you can see, they're doing this focus, which I think helps here, which is kind of late, but then they'll move south, and that's where you should try to push. Make sure your air wings are somewhere where they're actually engaging enemy fighters, as you can see here. Meanwhile, I've been training more troops. I have about 10 in training, and I'll keep doing that until we get a healthy amount of divisions. Okay, so Disperse 1 just finished. I just picked Disperse Industry 2, and the only other thing I'll do is I'll start researching the Panzer 3. It's quite early, but that means we're gonna produce a lot of them. With the dockyards, keep doing what you're doing. Get out of the lighter ships first. Here's how production's looking. We have a deficit of these two things because we're training so many troops, but that's fine. It's only 36 for now. We're not trying to rush anything yet. Okay, so we just finished the 4-year plan, and now there's the best strategy is to go autarky, get the civilian factories, and then go for the Reichsautobahn, and then we should be able to do the Anschluss. So let's go for that. We're gonna go autarky straight ahead. This gives us really nice bonuses, and we have enough political power to hire this guy who only costs half. Is gonna give us more construction of civilian factories. That's gonna really boost our economy. We'll get this done and then we'll build more. Okay, so as you can see, the state Madrid does not have the debuff anymore. So I'm going to grab my volunteers and find a good tile to push. So something like this. You see, they are already pushing through because they got rid of the debuff, and we'll try to cut them like this. There you see we're getting more aces, and if we just continue this way, we can pin some units there, and we should be able to finish this encirclement soon. Another thing, we just got a research slot, so we can go for Advanced Machine Tools 3, which is really going to help us. I know it takes 300 days, but we've got that bonus, so otherwise it would have been impossible to rush it this early. And look, we're getting 1939 tech at the end of 36. Now I just realized this encirclement has to be different because this tile is in another state. However, this one isn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push here instead. And it's not going to be an encirclement anymore, but we just tore through those units so easily that right now all I'm going to do is I'm going to push here and here. And there we go. I believe we have encircled them. We can start pushing them here. They'll get supplied through the capital, but they still are going to get encirclement penalties. And with that, we got autarky done, and we'll just go straight ahead the civilian factories. We also have more units, so that's great. Let's see if we can send more volunteers. Okay, we can. We also have political power for another advisor. I think that since we're rushing all that stuff, I'm going to get the industrial research speed. So we just got the Panzer 3, as you can see. And I think that I'm just going to get straight ahead and get the 4. I might just wait actually a little bit. And let's work on our doctrines. We really need to get at least 2 or more doctrines and keep a research slot just dedicated to that. Okay, so construction 3 just finished, and for me it's more important to get Dispersed Industry 3, so I'll just wait for that to finish. It's only taking a few more days, so in the meantime I think I'm gonna pick up radio, or yeah, I'll pick up radio for now. And I know I said not to push if the state has a debuff, but we can get a really nice encirclement here. We're getting supported by CAS, so let's see how that goes.
We can even try some force attack.
And there we go. We got an encirclement. That's great. And look at all those aces we're getting. Now, I almost forget about this, but don't forget to send an attaché. That's gonna be really helpful for our army experience. So after finishing this focus, we're just gonna continue with KDF Bagan. So you can see I started production of Panzer III. It's not great. Now I'm gonna keep building civilian factories here and here. So we just got Disperse 2 and I will go straight into Disperse 3. This is how my research is looking. I'm just doing the basic stuff. I'm still training units. Hopefully we'll get to have enough to do the Anschluss by mid or late 37. That's a good goal to have. So now that the civs have finished, I'm gonna do Autobahn. This is gonna help us our infrastructure, and hopefully when this one finishes, we'll be ready for the Anschluss. Okay, so one thing that's good about the volunteers in Spain is that you get all this air experience. What I suggest you do is to upgrade your fighters. I think I'm gonna do something like, yeah, like that for now. Make sure to decommission. This way you will get fighter ones that are better than the fighter ones the AI have, because they usually don't really upgrade fighters. So it's important to have a bunch of air experience. This is also going to help you with your doctrines. Okay, so it's August 37 and I think I'm going to go for Anschluss now, simply because I don't think they're gonna get more factors. They're just doing this random focuses. I'm not sure. I hope they got some more factors. It says they've got between 9 to 11 and 6. So I mean, it says, you know, here 12, 13, 6 out of 6. So yeah, I mean, that's gonna give us a boost to our industry. I'm still making civilians. I usually make civilians up to the Sudetenland, because that's when we lose the advisor that gets us more civilian factory construction speed. However, what I think I'm going to do is that after Austria but before Sudetenland, I will build some refineries, because we're going to need some of them. Alright, so we just got the event for the Anschluss, which is great. It really helps us. And right now our gun stockpile should update, and as you can see we have a surplus, which is great, as we just got all of their stuff. We also got all of their divisions, and I think I'm just gonna convert them all to our regular infantry. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of this. I'll stop at 4 so that we have another full army group. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my extra research slot, which is really good. This is how my research look. I'm going to start doing this infantry equipment, and with the factors that we got from Austria, I'm gonna go 5 on tanks, at least 10 on fighters, which is not enough unfortunately, but this is how I want it to look, give or take. Also, I'm going to stockpile some political power, because I want to send an attaché to Japan once this ends here. I still want to get more army experience, but for now we can get either the artillery designer or this guy, and I think I'm gonna get this guy. Okay, so we just got advanced machine tools. We can either get construction, excavation, but for now I'll get computer machine, and then I want to work into, you know, artillery upgrades, anti-air upgrades, keep doing doctrines, you know, that's really helpful. And since we now have a 7,000 surplus of gun, I am going to go ahead and do this. It's gonna cost us some experience. I'm also going to get rid of most of the Austrian templates, just because they're not really that useful. Yeah, this is basically the same one we have. And yep, actually this one's gonna be our military police division, so I'll name it like that. And what I'm also going to do is to train all of them to up to level 3. Okay, so this focus just finished, and I think that for now I am going to do this one. It's gonna turn us to war economy, give us 6 military factories. That's really helpful. If you were going for a long run game, I would do this ones, simply because this is a really good focus as well. But since we have to be done by 1940, it's better to get those 6 military factories. And as you can see, we're almost done with the doctrine and dispersing the City 3. This can change into other stuff that's also going to help us. Right now we're sitting about 78 civilians, I'm sorry. So I'm building a few synthetic factories. I know this might be a lot, but I'm going to show you a cool trick to not have many rubber issues. I think this is going to be enough, at least this, 14? Okay, so since the Spanish conflict just finished, what I am going to do is now I'm going to go to Japan and say, hey, do you want an attaché? Okay, we have to improve relations first. And not yet. How about now? Let's go. That's great. We can stop improving relations. Might as well get some docking rights. What I want to do with my army experience is to turn this into a 40 width medium tank division. Okay, and we have just enough army experience to do this. You see the stats are magnificent. We still have above 30 organization, which is going to increase as we do more research on mobile warfare. So I'll save that. And I'm not going to train any yet because we need at least 650. And right now we have in stockpile only 200 tanks. But once we get all these military factories and all of that production, we're going to get rolling. And once we get about maybe a 5,000 surplus, I'm going to train more units. Okay, with war econ done, we have a few options. We can go co-liquidization, or we can go restore eastern claims, demand the Sudetenland or Slovenia. We can go army innovations too. It's 1938 and we only have about 2 years, which means about 8 focuses, give or take. For me, it's important to do at least army innovations too. I think that air innovations is also very helpful. We can demand the Sudetenland now, but as I said, I'm still building a few of this and I really like that 10% extra. So I'm gonna delay on that, and I think I'm gonna do the eastern claims because we still have to do that right before Danzig. So I'll do that. Okay, so we just got Memel, which is really good. I don't think... Okay, there's some stuff there. That's gonna be helpful. So since I'm still waiting on Sudetenland, I think I'm gonna do the second of army innovations right now. And after that, I will follow straight with Sudetenland all the way to Fate to Czechoslovakia. Okay, so we just finished army innovations. So I'm just going to do all of this focuses straight. We still don't have enough manpower for that, but we'll have for the Sudetenland, and that's going to give us a boost. And what I was saying about the refineries, you see we have 26 rubber, and we have about 10 factories on planes, and we're not struggling with rubber. Also, I've upgraded my fighters. I think I'm going to do another upgrade because I have enough army experience. So I'll do that. Okay, so we just got to Sudetenland. That's great. We're going to do the Fies Vienna Award, right straight ahead. As you can see, I'm building a bunch of military factories. I think it's also important to build a little bit of anti-air. It's not that expensive, but you might get bombed by the Allies, and that's really annoying. This is how my production's looking. I'm gonna up 10 2 guns, and then I'll put 5 on CAS. Then I want 10 on artillery, maybe more on tanks, more on support equipment. And this is how we should roll. Hopefully when we annex Czechoslovakia, I will be much more stronger. I have my first 40 width, and it's still missing a little bit of equipment, but you know, infantry equipment. But we're gonna be training a few more of this, and then after that we'll be able to just focus production on armor units. So I'm gonna actually start training one more. I also have 3 light tanks that are 20 width that I'm also going to train up to level 3. These are more to support the encirclements, while these are going to be our main pushing force. I'm also going to convert this to medium tanks soon. If you wanted, you could also use just a 20 width of medium tanks, but I have found that 40 width just push through everything with no issue. and since we have to do it so fast, it's just a better idea. Okay, so with the first Vienna war completed, I'm going to do Fate of Czechoslovakia, and after that we'll do Danzig. As you can see, this is how my production looks like. I'm gonna go to 20 on tanks and 20 on fighters. Those are the most important things. I think I'll cut down a little bit on artillery, maybe. So we just did the Fate of Czechoslovakia, and I think that I'm just going to do this. This is the historical route. Doesn't really matter. We just got a bunch of factories. Well, our equipment is going to look at that, so much better. So many things. We're gonna go Danzig because it's already February of 1939, so I'm going to do that. And once we do around Maginot, which is a shorter focus, then we're gonna focus in these two things. So this focus is gonna give us one more refinery. We've built about 14 of them, 12 maybe, and this focus is gonna make each refinery give us 2 more rubber. So if we have 10 refineries right now, or however many we have, or our rubber production is 28, so we're gonna get 2 extra per refinery, which is gonna throw this into like 30 something. So it's gonna be really helpful because we won't be able to trade for rubber. Now here's how I'm gonna set up things for Poland. I want 1 army in Königsberg, and then the rest under a field marshal, but here. So it's 3 armies and 1 here, and then 1 that's in training is gonna cover the Maginot. And then our panzer armies, I'm gonna basically create a pocket around here. Okay, so the Danziger war just finished. I'm not going to start around Maginot yet. I think I might do the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Or... So the thing is that if I do this, then they will expect my attack from them. So I think I might actually just wait and not take a focus. That might be helpful because we still need a few political advisors. I think, you know, the Chief of Air Force and maybe another high command here. But I have my battle plans set up through the Danzig. Now there's going towards here. This is plains, so it's a good place to attack with my tanks. I don't have anyone on the Maginot, and I think these guys are almost done. So I think I'm just gonna force deploy them here. 12 divisions is more than enough for the Maginot, and I'll just put them with this guy. France doesn't usually push, so we should be fine generally. I have Air Force set up, so our CAS doing CAS, our attack bombers there, and then we have 700 fighters, which is great. They're going to provide air support there. The cool thing about having farmed all of those air wings in Spain is that we can get really cool aces. I'm going to let Bulgaria join my faction, and I will declare in Poland in 1 second once all of our armies are ready. So you see we have positions in Maginot, and okay, so right now I am going to assign all of this flying aces, which is wonderful to have so many that we farmed back in Spain. I think they're all fighter aces, which is a bit unfortunate. We don't really have any for other type of air wing, but that's okay. I also have a bunch of ships here. We just reorganize like that, and we can get our submarines with Karl Donitz to do combo raiding here. That's really going to harm the Poles, and we can have those activated. There's some forts in here, which is a little bit annoying, but we should push with no issue with all the air support. It's like all those fighters. The idea is to cut off Warsaw. We really want to knock out Poland quick, because then we want to overrun the Low Countries and get to France. I actually tried this before, and I declared on June and capitulated the Allies by October. But okay, we're gonna get Blitzkrieg, which is really going to help us. We're almost done with Panzer Force, but I'm not gonna use them, and I'm gonna save political power for the war propaganda that we will do soon. Okay, so we have one unit that's a little bit under equipped. That's fine. Okay, we just got the Panzer IV. I'm not going to upgrade just yet because I really want that. Okay, so let's do this. It's May 16th, and I'm going to declare. So, oh, look at that. We can just do that. These are not pushing, but they should meet up here. And like a knife through butter, we're just cutting through the Polish lines so easily. Oh, we got another run, I think.
And our first encirclement. Wow, that was fast. So our battle plan here just broke, so let me extend this. Okay, and let's clean this pocket.
Oh wow, we just capitulated Warsaw. And I'm going to start around Maginot, and after that I'll do the focus to get the non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union. That's really going to help us not get invaded by them. Oh, Italy wants to join, so sure. You can join. I just want call you to war, and let's get this guy 10% extra. That's definitely helpful. And look at that breakthrough. I think we're gonna get another. Oh, okay. So Poland just capitulated. That's amazing. Here's how I will set up. I want to get this army with the Netherlands, this army here, and I'll put another army here, and then this guy, I'm actually going to put it against the Soviets just to be safe. Okay, so now we can upgrade to Panzer IV, and as you can see, we really need tungsten. I'm not going to buy from Portugal. We still have a very little tungsten, but now we can set the convoy rating, and you see they're trying to bomb us, but that is no problem, as I am going to move these air wings here, this guy's here, and this guy's here, and I'll set this fighter wings to air superiority. And you can see how we're just decimating the enemy fighters. They're getting okay. So now that we got around Maginot, I am going to do the pact with the Soviets quickly. I am going to push with my units here. Usually my strategy is to go first for the Netherlands, so I am going to do from the north and from the south. Let's get those units there, and I'm actually going to reduce my speed to 4, just because if I get distracted, I might, you know, get to 1940 before, and I'm going to start some production of anti-air. And I want to declare on the Low Countries. The only issue is that our panzer units are not there yet, so let's wait just a little bit longer. Okay, fuel refining is amazing. That's really going to help us. I'm going to get excavation 1 with that bonus, and you know, we really need every little edge we can get. So okay, our units are ready to go. So let's go against the Netherlands, and we're going to need to set our airplanes, all of them there, and some there too, and let's set this guys here because it appears they moved. And as you can see, we're just pushing through the Netherlands quite easily, and this border with Belgium is extending. So since they're moving their troops, I'm just gonna go ahead and declare, and I'm gonna change this units to actually attack Belgium instead. Same with this, guys. I'm just gonna activate their battle plans. We can keep getting encirclements there, and as you can see, we can just do that. They were not prepared for this. I am telling you, we'll cut them off very easily, and then they'll capitulate. Now, the great thing about this achievement is this spirit. As soon as we take Paris, oh, they're actually doing this. So we have to take Paris before they take strength and government. Well, okay, they need to do this one. But for now, we just gotta take Paris and the French will capitulate because that's how French people work. And there they go. So with this, you have completed the true Blitzkrieg achievement. You have capitulated France and Poland before 1940. In fact, 24th July 1939. I hope this strategy helped you. And with this, the achievement is complete. If you want me to continue this playthrough, show you how I invade the Soviet Union, how to invade these countries, or maybe even try a sea lion, I'll definitely show you. I think that from here, I'll probably do these two focuses, then I would do this one, and lastly I would move towards these two things. Maybe I'd pick up air innovations or something like that. That's definitely gonna help us in the long run. Still a British pocket here, so let me clean that up. And we can also go and help the Italians here, which they definitely need help, but with one infrastructure, it's impossible. And look at that, like a knife through butter. We just encircled two British divisions, super easy. They can pierce us, but they're encircled. So, well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe.